1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's do a little work session. Suppose you're prepping an environment for to use with an instrument, and then you're going to set up a few acts, and think like, okay, this might be a nice starting point, like I'm doing here with it's a combination, a few input channels, and they're going to one is going to munger straight in, and which has a certain effect, and there's another one going into the buffub, which here has a sample buffer, 5 seconds, and it's a few grainers, and grainers are picking that up, and there's some other stuff going on. There's a filter here. Okay, well, you have to prep it a bit, see what works and what doesn't, and so what to do when you're you load a bunch of acts and now you're going to work with it. And sometimes it's really easy to just get lost in many details. But if you want to work with it with an instrument, then you're really quite early on looking for ways to automate a few things. Even if you're just setting it up and then just working with the mouse. And one of the things I look for is like, okay, what is in later stages, what could be one of the things you wanna control via midi and or the keyboard. So one of the first things I'm always looking for is the easy automations on the keyboard. Suppose you have the munger here, and one of the most common things you will use is either you flip through the preset menu, or you want to have a freeze, which is a recording snapshot of mostly a second, I think. But it's really nice if you just can punch in one button keyboard and then have them both freeze. Or it's up to you how you do it. It's the same goes for the buffub. If you record something on the buffub, then you can also say like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you stop recording. Then this will stay on in the sample buffer, and then you can have a look at the 3, 4, the grainer acts. Everything can be controlled through via midi or key commands, because the mouse can only do one thing at a time. For example, if I just want on the fly control a few things, I'll use quick setup with a control act, and in this case I'll be choosing the keyboard, and there's a routing, and suppose I got two mungers here, and I'm using my right hand with the mouse, and so the left hand, so I say like Q. You can see if I punch in Q, then I say, oh, Q could be good for both freeze on munger 1 and 2. So let's see, munger 1, and the parameter would be, I think, freeze or record. I guess record, right? Yeah, that's right. So now he's activating the freeze when I hold the Q key. But what I want to is on off when I want to. Let's see if I go through cycle, he stays on either freeze, as you can see here, freeze or not freeze, which I want to have because I want to with the same button on and off. So what you have there is like no, this buffub. Wait, this would this be munger here. Wait. 1, 2. Well, okay. And I wanted to function for just that one munger. The other munger is going to be an A. So that's munger 2. Record also. And function cycle. Very good. Now if I want to have them both, I can do both at the same time. I mean, I could choose for another letter, another on the keyboard. Let's say I do number 1, and then that'll instantly choose them both, but you know, Q and A letters are very close together, so I can do Q and A simultaneously if I want to. Then I'll look at the how to go through the presets boxes here. I'd like to be that close to the Q and A, so I take the Z, and so it's munger 1. It's always somewhere you don't expect them. And how many presets there are? There are 2, 4, 5, something 15. So minus this 1 to 15. And then I think cycle would be good as well. Was it Z? Yeah. So there we go. Are we going back? Yes. So you can see here in the munger 1, the cycle. There's another thing which often occurs. You'll be working with all kinds of old material, but you still kind of like them, you know, what you did in the preset, but in a new environment, these outputs acts might not be there or might be different, and that causes always a lot of frustration, like, oh no, because when it's not there, then it will say 0, it will get a 0 there, and there's no output. So what you do in that case is go to your client window, and like I did here already, I deactivated the destination acts, destination channels. So that means the one output you've chosen here will stay the same over all the presets coming by. Is also a possible source for nuisance, but it is what it is. You have to make choices. So that was another trick. Well, suppose I'm going to use the Z also for Munger 2, and you click once here on the within the routing from the control app, and you say clone. You change this to Munger 2, and there you go. They're both on. The other thing I would like to change with the letter W is rec on off for the buffub, because sometimes it's, you know, it's nice to have a little sample going on. Usually in live situation I just loop it and record on, so every time you get some new things. But you also there's another thing within for the buffub, is that you can regulate the amount of let's say destructive recording. So if let's say you put it halfway, then the old recording will remain longer than you put it all the way up, which is, you know, destructive recording. The previous recording is being wiped out, and it can be a very nice feature if you control it slightly so that it's, you know, your old recordings, previous recordings just fade out really slowly. You can play with that. You have an extra sort of loop canvas there. That was a pro tip. So the W, I said, okay, I want to control the record on off for the buffub. So it's going to be buffub. That's the record switch, I guess. Now we also want that to cycle, I guess. Off, on, off, on. Might make your life a little bit easier. But then again, you always have to remember what the hell you did. Yeah, so now these things roll, so I'm gonna show you a bit of automation with the midi in a bit. So we're going to open a new control, and a new control, I'm going to put it here. The new control will be midi, and I guess I have to look for it. Yeah, I haven't put down anything, so I'm probably gonna cut a few things in. This is the one, the nano control, and we're going to max runtime. Select straight from him. There you go. I'm moving the fader here. I can see the light burning. And for example, I want to control the grainer, the GG grainer here. I want to control this starting point of where this one we're going to control, and we're going to control it on two ways. One is the starting point itself, and then the other one is to make it bigger and smaller. You can also use, of course, modulators for that, well, this pocket slider can do that nicely. So touch this one, then the router is I'm turning the first knob, and I'm gonna look for the specific function. So it's start and not start related. You have to choose. Yeah, it's there. And well, let's keep it for now for this. And the other one I want is the other parameter I want to alter on the fly would be let's put this fader. I want the grainer to have a different length. That's nice, but very subtle. Yeah, nice. I think it's let's make it 1000. Yeah, that's cool. Now that really depends on how much variation you want. I think for now this is okay. I want this ggrainer. I wanted to do the same because he's going to pick up the sample buffer from the buffub he's a bit subtle, so I give him a... yes. Now, there's an interesting thing. Okay. Yes. Alright, so we have the grainer start point there, and then I change the length here. So we choose the grainer 2. Wow, we're going too fast for you. Gee, guys. What? Length is there. And 0 to 1000. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he's a bit subtle. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So you can, I don't know, do something. Right. There's one thing, there's a very important thing, which might, you know, escape your attention. If you setting up your parameters in the MIDI in the routing page, there's a big difference in the values you add here. All depends on how big the sample or the loop part really is. As you can see here, the values on the start for the second grainer are much smaller than the ones on the first grainer, because this sample here is longer. This is only 5 seconds here, so the values have to. Otherwise, you in first instances are always looking for, hey, where is that? What is he doing? Sometimes you lose it. So that's something to remember. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. I forgot which one. Oh, this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
To